She doesn't fall for loud men, flashy men, or men who try too hard. She falls for the man who doesn't seem to be trying at all. Most men never realize that the strongest form of attraction is not created by what you do, but by what you refuse to do. And this is where Stoicism quietly becomes irresistible, because while other men are chasing attention, validation and reactions, the Stoic man is doing something far more powerful. He is in complete control of himself. And what she's really responding to is not your words, not your looks, not your money, but the emotional calm you carry in situations where most men lose themselves. Few men understand this, but a woman's attraction is deeply tied to how emotionally safe and psychologically grounded you feel to her. Not safe in a boring way, but safe in a powerful way. Safe like a mountain. Safe like someone who cannot be shaken by moods, drama, or uncertainty. When she sees that you don't react impulsively, don't get offended easily, and don't crumble under emotional pressure, something in her mind shifts. She starts seeing you as rare, as high value, as different from the emotional chaos she is used to dealing with. The first Stoic trait that makes women melt is emotional restraint. When she says something slightly disrespectful, when she tests your patience, when she creates small emotional storms to see how you'll react, and you don't react, you don't defend, you don't argue, you don't chase, you stay calm, almost unfazed. What she's really doing is measuring your emotional strength. Most men fail here. They explain, justify, argue, or get hurt. But when you remain composed, you communicate something without saying a word. My emotions are under my control, and this changes everything. But here's where it gets interesting. She doesn't consciously realize why she feels more drawn to you. She just feels it. Because emotionally reactive men feel unstable. They feel unpredictable. They feel unsafe. And women are wired to be deeply attracted to emotional stability. When you show restraint, you activate a psychological signal in her that says, "This man can handle life. This man can handle me." The second Stoic behavior most men miss is the power of silence. Most men talk too much when they like a woman. They try to impress. They try to fill every pause. They over-explain themselves. But the Stoic man understands the value of silence. He listens more than he speaks. He answers slowly. He doesn't rush to entertain. And what she's really experiencing in those moments is mystery. Silence forces her mind to work. She starts wondering what you're thinking. She starts trying to read you. And the more she tries to figure you out, the more invested she becomes. This is the truth nobody says out loud. Mystery creates emotional obsession. The less predictable you are, the more mentally engaging you become. When you don't reveal everything about yourself, when you're comfortable with pauses, when you don't rush to fill the air with noise, she feels something rare. She feels intrigued, and intrigue is the beginning of deep attraction. The third Stoic trait is detachment from outcomes. Most men approach women hoping for approval, attention, or a specific result. And women can sense this instantly. It creates pressure. It creates neediness. It makes you feel like you want something from her. But when you interact with a woman without needing anything from her, without trying to win her, impress her, or control where things go, you become incredibly attractive. Because now she feels like she has to earn your interest. Few men understand this shift. When you stop trying to get her, she starts trying to get you. When you're okay whether she stays or leaves, she becomes curious why you're so unaffected. Your calm indifference signals abundance, and abundance is magnetic. The fourth Stoic behavior that melts women is patience. Not passive waiting, but calm patience. You don't rush the conversation. You don't rush the relationship. You don't push for things to move faster. You let time do the work. And what she's really doing during this time is observing you, testing you, feeling your presence. The slower you move, the safer she feels to open up emotionally. Because fast men feel suspicious, slow men feel confident. But here's the twist most men miss. Patience communicates self-worth. It says, "I don't rush because I know my value." And that quiet confidence creates emotional comfort in her. She feels like she can relax around you. She doesn't feel pressured. She doesn't feel rushed. She feels drawn in naturally. The fifth Stoic quality is indifference to validation. This is where attraction reaches its peak. When you don't need compliments, don't fish for approval, don't try to show off, and don't alter yourself to be liked. She feels something incredibly rare: authenticity. Most men perform around women. The Stoic man does not perform. He is the same person whether she's impressed or not. What she's really responding to is your unshakable sense of self. You are not trying to become attractive. You already are, because you're not bending for anyone. And this creates deep respect before attraction even fully forms. Respect is the foundation of long-term desire. Now here is the mindset shift that changes everything. Attraction is not about making her feel something. It's about becoming someone who doesn't need to make her feel anything. When you stop trying to influence her emotions, she becomes influenced by your presence. When you stop chasing reactions, she starts reacting to you. This is the paradox most men never understand. Because the Stoic man does not try to be attractive. He focuses on mastering himself. And mastery of self is the most seductive trait a man can possess. She melts not because you're trying to melt her, but because you are emotionally unmovable. In a world where men are loud, reactive, needy, and desperate for attention, you become the quiet storm, the man who speaks less, reacts less, needs less, and controls more. And what she's really feeling is this: this man is different. This man is rare. This man is safe, strong, and intriguing at the same time. And that combination is unforgettable. If this opened your eyes, subscribe now, because most men will never hear this truth.